Ouji is a short story in classical Chinese written by Pu Songling, a novelist in the Qing dynasty, from Volume 2 of Strange Tales from Liaozhai Studio. One day, a woman arrived in the village, around 24 or 25 years old. She carried a medicine box and offered medical treatment to the villagers. One person who came for treatment found that the woman didn't immediately prescribe medicine. Instead, she claimed she would consult the gods after nightfall. People patiently waited for the night to come. As dusk settled in, she cleaned a small room meticulously, then locked herself inside. The villagers gathered around the doors and windows, straining their ears to listen. A few whispered softly, but no one dared to cough. No sound could be heard from within or without the small room. Around midnight, the people suddenly heard the sound of lifting curtains from inside the small room. The woman asked from within, "Has ninth aunt arrived?" Another woman's voice answered, "Yes, she's here." Then she asked, "Did Plum Blossom come with ninth aunt?" Another voice that seemed like a servant replied, "She did." After that, the voices of these three women blended together, chattering incessantly. After a while, the people outside heard the sound of curtain hooks, and the young woman said, "Sixth aunt has arrived." Someone beside her said, "And Spring Plum is carrying the young master." Another woman remarked, "What a stubborn child. He wouldn't sleep even if you coaxed him. He insisted on following sixth aunt. He's as heavy as 1,000 pounds. Carrying him is truly exhausting." Following this, expressions of gratitude were heard, as well as greetings from ninth aunt, formalities from sixth aunt. Comforting words exchanged between the two servants, the child's laughter, a cacophony of voices, and a general hubbub. The woman laughed and said, "This child really loves to play. He's come all this way still clutching the cat." During this time, the noises within gradually diminished. The curtain moved again, and the small room erupted in noise. Someone asked, "Why did fourth aunt come so late?" A young girl responded softly, "It's over 1,000 miles away. Aunt and I walked for a long time. Aunt walked too slowly." Then, another round of greetings and exchanges of seats followed. Various sounds intertwined, filling the room with clamor. After quite some time, things quieted down. Only then did the people outside hear the woman seeking advice from the gods on medicinal remedies. Ninth aunt suggested using ginseng, sixth aunt recommended using astragalus root, and fourth aunt said white atractalodes would be appropriate. They thought for a moment. Then they heard ninth aunt asking for ink and brush. After a while, paper rustled, pens were removed, pen caps clinked as they hit the table, and the sound of grinding ink was distinct. After writing out the prescription, ninth aunt threw the pen onto the table, prepared the medicine package, and it emitted a rustling sound. Soon after, the woman opened the curtains, called the sick villagers to collect their medicine and prescriptions, then turned back into the room. Subsequently, they heard third aunt bidding farewell, the two servants bidding farewell, the child babbling, the cat meowing, all occurring simultaneously. Ninth aunt's voice was crisp and clear. Sixth aunt's voice was slow and aged. Fourth aunt's voice was gentle and melodious. And the voices of the three servants each had their own distinct characteristics, allowing those outside to clearly distinguish them. After experiencing this meeting with the gods, the villagers truly believed that these women were gods and were utterly astonished. The sick people who obtained the remedies and herbs from these goddesses discovered that, despite consuming the medicine, their conditions did not improve. Eventually, the villagers realized that the woman's performance was just ventriloquism, and there were no actual gods involved. She was merely using ventriloquism as a way to promote her medical skills. Nevertheless, this was quite remarkable. Long ago, Wang Xini had once said, passing by a certain location in the capital city, he heard the sound of singing and musical performance, and the crowd that had gathered resembled a wall. Upon approaching, he discovered that a young man was using his voice to perform music. He didn't use any instruments. He simply pressed a finger against his cheek while singing, producing a sound that was incredibly clear and powerful, not distinguishable from music produced by actual instruments. This, too, is a descendant of ventriloquism performance.